Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It seems that PlayStation Cloud streaming has gone live in Europe. We'll have more on that later in the show. Xbox have got a showcase this week. I mean, they just keep coming with the big announcements. Plus, Spiderman 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game ever. All that and much, much more. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So roll the credits.
It's the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden.
Yokoso, arigato gozaimasu. Welcome. Of course, you are most welcome to the Monday Game Chat. I hope you're good. I hope you are well. As ever, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know what games you have been playing. Have you been playing Spider-Man 2? It's the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game ever, so somebody's bought it. Let me know. Have you tried out PlayStation Cloud streaming, which is available now in Europe? So in Japan, Europe, they said they would be rolling it out in Japan, Europe, and then the US. The US is not due until this time next week, but it is rolled out in Europe and people have already experienced it, and we'll have an update on all of that. But anyway, let me know what games you've been playing. Put it down in the chat down below. That's what it's for. Get involved with the chat. And of course, as Jerome always says, thank you, Jerome, hit the likes. Yeah. Because I like it. YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content like this. Now, you might be able to tell by my voice. You might not be able to. I have a slight cold, so the show may not be as long as it normally is. Thank God for that. I hear some of you cry. I'll try to be brief to save the voice, but I felt, I owe it to you guys. I've missed a couple of shows. I ought to kind of press on and do a show. Anyway, so let's crack on. And then we'll go to the chat, because it seems we've got a running commentary of what PlayStation Cloud gaming is like in its new form. Here we go. Well, let's go and see the announcement. So, ladies and gentlemen, cloud streaming on PlayStation Plus. You need to be a PlayStation Plus premium member. I can hear my voice going already. But here we are, targeting Europe, October the 23rd. Well, it seems that is the case. And good old Internet of Games, he reports here, it's up and running on the PS5. Exactly. You access it through your PS5 dashboard, or if you have the game in your PS5 game library, select streaming from there. So a bit like with Xbox in Game Pass, if you can either click to install the game or play via the cloud. So, Internet of Games says here, it's up and running on the PS5. It provides a 4K 60 HDR feed. Very impressive. Very Stadia-like. You're out of date. Stadia were doing that years ago. Although less impressive than the big boys. When you say the big boys, please clarify. Do you mean GeForce Now Ultimate or even Xbox? Because Xbox aren't doing it at 4K 60 frames per second HDR, are they? I don't think they are. Or are they on there? Anyway, game settings can be set to performance or quality, as with the console giving 4K 60 at 60 Hz or 4K 30 at 60 Hz. Very good. I believe the scaling artifacts that they're using AMD GPUs. Ooh. That is Internet of Games perspective, that they are using AMDs. Very distinctive look. I have as many will be used for game trials for premium titles, and look forward to see it develop out from the controlled environment of PS5. Yeah, you see, I still have my doubts about that. I think they want to save the optimal experience, ironically, for console owners. It would be great if I didn't, say, for instance, have to buy, or not just me, you didn't have to buy a PlayStation 5 and you could access it through the browser at the same quality, for a subscription, even if it's a slightly heightened subscription, just to add to my list of many gaming subscriptions. There are 815. Let me know if you think PlayStation will kind of make it available via the browser or an app, or they will keep it as I think, because they're a hardware company. They want you to keep buying the hardware. They don't want to give you an excuse not to buy the hardware. That's my view. Markets may dictate in 5 years' time that they have to put out an app, but keep some features back specifically for the console. Streaming via the console. A bit like, I guess, initially you could only stream Stadia at 4K through the Chromecast, dongle at the time. So it may be like that. I don't know. There are 815 games in the streamable catalogue. Previous generations, which make up the majority, continue to stream at 1080p SDR upscaled to your native output resolution, and it's improved the longer I've been playing. Very interesting. It will be interesting to see how it is when over the next week, as more and more people jump on it. But according to Internet of Games, I've had no crashes or lag spikes, and latency is good, easily within human correctable bounds. Impressive, says Jerome. So there we go. There is a running commentary for you. Your first sort of review. Shout out to Internet of Games there for that running review. We much appreciate it. Sednar, good to see you. I've been sick as well, playing mostly mobile games. Well, I hope you get better soon, Jerome. Evening, Neil. Good to see you. So that's the PlayStation. Let's talk about Spider-Man here. So this is a quick review in The Guardian. If you've played Spider-Man, it says it launches on the 30th of October, but I've read so many reviews. Does it? Or is it just, seems to be a hell of a lot of reviews out there. In many ways, Spider-Man 2 feels like PlayStation 5 itself. At first glance, it appears to be merely a bigger and shinier version of what came before. But over time, its smorgasbord of small changes add up to something more substantial. It's the iteration rather than innovation approach, a bigger and better successor that quietly impresses rather than blows your socks off. Yet when the result is a blockbuster this well made, it's hard to walk away from Spider-Man 2 with anything less than a web-eating grin. And I think, is that Stuart Heritage of The Guardian? No, it's Tom Regan of The Guardian. So there we go. Let me know. Be interesting to see whether other people concur with that. But generally, it's getting rave reviews. Insomniac know how to deliver a good story-based game and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, though, more Spider-Man news here. There's some things missing. I'm not talking bugs. I'm talking buildings. Yes, there's some buildings missing. So Spider-Man 2 is missing this major New York City landmark. So this is not the fault of Insomniac, or, it's not a bug or anything like that. I'm not saying, oh my God, it's so buggy, there's a building missing. No. It's missing the Chrysler building. This is what it looks like in the game. If you fly down to that, that address in New York, instead of the Chrysler building, you get this nondescript skyscraper. That's what it was like in the original Spider-Man, the Chrysler building. And that, just trying to get the angles there. And that is what it looks like. There's the original in Spider-Man, and this is what it looks like in Spider-Man 2. So this is all to do with the fact that in America, architectural designs and buildings can be copyrighted in the same way as art and music and writing, creative work like that. And so they basically haven't cleared the copyright because the building was sold from when they first had the copyright for the first Spider-Man film. So there we go. The Chrysler building, which is just weird to me that you can copyright a landmark. But I guess you can. According to the United States Copyright Office, an architectural work is defined as the design of a building is embodied in any tangible medium of expression, including building, architectural plans or drawings, etc., etc., etc. But they refuse to register bridges, clover leaves, dams, walkways, tents, recreational vehicles or boats. Can't copyright a boat, but you can copyright the Chrysler building. So there we go. I just thought that was kind of an interesting little anecdote I wanted to share with you. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, Battlefield. Now, that had a kind of a mixed response when it came out. When it first came out, I was sort of in two minds about it, but I have played it a couple of times on GeForce Now Ultimate, and I've sort of got into it a bit more, but I haven't played for a while. But look, Battlefield 2042 has more people playing now than during its launch window. Now, it is available as an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate game. That helps. But it's experiencing a resurgence if new PC player counts or anything go by. It's 2 years old. 2 years. 2 years old. It hit a new peak player count on Steam recently. So, on October the 12th, the date was free to try across all platforms, likely resulting in this new peak player number. However, the game has managed to maintain similar numbers at peak times since that date. So, obviously, that free trial that they offered has done the job. 107,000 users in a 24-hour peak period. So don't give up on your game, I guess, is the moral of there. Keep with the marketing and you know, if it's good enough, people will play it. It's fun. It's not too, the learning curve, I mean, you know, it's not too difficult. I managed to enjoy myself, which means that I basically was probably 50-50 on getting killed and killing, which to me is a good benchmark. And if I can achieve that in a competitive PvP, I'm happy because I'm not very good, you know. But it's about the right level for me. So, you know, there we go. So, Xbox. So after the big announcement, the closing of the deal, there is a new third-party focused Xbox partner preview, but not, ironically enough, Activision Blizzard. It looks like, in a way, Xbox is going, there's been so much focus on Activision Blizzard that our poor other third-party, you know, developers have sort of been neglected. So there's a new third-party focused Xbox partner preview format debuts this week. No ActiBliz news, as they say. Xbox will debut its new broadcast format, Xbox Partner Review. So this is like a Connect, isn't it? Like a Xbox Connect or whatever. And they will hear from its third-party partners like the Ryuga Gotoku Studio, Remedy Entertainment, Studio Wildcore, and more. The new show will feature more than 20 minutes of trailers and new gameplay footage. Goes live at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So probably about 5 or 6, something like that, in the Europe. On Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, if you think they're resting on their laurels, Xbox, in terms of getting Activision Blizzard deal done, they're not going to forget their other third-party developers. So that should be interesting to see what comes out of that. Xbox say viewers could expect the latest information in the games for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I presume is from Gotoku Studio, a launch trailer of Alan Wake 2, the first gameplay for Ark Survival Ascended, and a dive into the social world of Dungeons of Hindenburg. So Wednesday, make a date in your diary if you are interested in all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Final Fantasy. We mentioned Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. Quite exciting news. But look at this. Final Fantasy creator reveals his custom Xbox controller for Final Fantasy 14. So the MMO will come to Xbox next year. Yay! Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Xbox next year. And the creator has built this custom... Can't really make it any bigger for you. Hironobu Sakaguchi has appeared at the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest playing the game with a custom Xbox controller. The controller appears to be an Xbox Elite. Yeah, I concur. With a chat pad connected at the bottom. Although Sakaguchi says he removed most of the buttons so he doesn't hit one by mistake. So it's just got like extra buttons on the end. He custom it by adding a keyboard, removing all the keyboard buttons he doesn't need, apart from a few buttons he uses for 3 commands. He's so hardcore. Look at that. So we get a closer look. Yeah. A custom made. You can see at the top, I think. That's what he's done. So he's like using the numbers by the looks of things. Very strange. But there we go. But talking of strange and Halloween, how about... Oh, where's it? Oh. Anyway, this Diabolo. You can get some credits by giving blood. Let me find it. I'm not going to find the news now. I just deleted it by mistake, my little link. Oh, we'll come back to that one then. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of Miles there. Right. And get rid of that. Let's just see what the chat's chatting about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm late because I was streaming. That's fair enough. That's acceptable. Thank you for the commentary on the PlayStation streaming Internet of Games. Much appreciated. I've been playing, since I forgot to mention, I jumped back into Starfield. I sort of left it for a week or so. Various reasons. But I jumped back into it, and I certainly concur with the notion that the more you play it, or the longer you play it, the more interesting it gets. I try to just focus quite narrowly on the story. I've done my Ranger thing. I've got my Ranger badge and everything. I've done all that. Gone back to the Constellation crew. Just met, no spoilers, but met a difficult boss battle, which I tried. And in the end, I ran away. And I think actually that was probably the right thing to do. I don't think you were meant to beat the boss level section that was on. I don't want to say what it is, in case you haven't got it there. But I tried for ages. But I think it just keeps going because you can't beat it. Maybe you can. But I ran away and it seemed to be the right thing to do. Anyway, that's what I've been playing, Starfield, and a bit of Halo, because I've been testing those laptops that I mentioned last week. I have a review of three gaming laptops coming out on Wednesday. Yeah, so look out for that. It's gaming laptops at 3 different price ranges, like $800, well, sub $1,000, about $1,500, $1,800, and the $4,000 monster. And it's basically, 3 gaming laptops for 3 different budgets, gaming budgets. So there we are. Look out for that. Coming out on Wednesday. I hope you enjoy it. Do watch it. Hit the likes, all of that. Comment, because it all helps. Internet of Games have been playing WRC Generations, Forza, AC Mirage, Phantom Liberty, day to day. GFN and a local 4080 are going to be the only way to max out Alan Wake 2. Yeah. It'll be interesting, yes. I guess if it's coming to Xbox, PC, and it should be available on GeForce Now. It's interesting what you say there, that draw people to the platform, drawing consumers to the platform, presumably mean GeForce Now Ultimate. I did read in, I think it was in Trusted Reviews or something, their view that, the surefire way of not allowing GeForce Now to go mainstream is by keep raising the price. The best experience is Ultimate. Now, I know it costs money to run the servers and stuff like that, but I do sometimes wonder if that privilege of having effectively a 4080, I got slapped on the wrist because I kept seeing 4090. GeForce Now contacted me and said, it's 4080. I know, I was been playing on a 4090, and then I was reviewing that laptop that was 4090, and then I was doing the news on something else on about GeForce Now, but it all merged. But anyway, yes, 4080. RTX 4080 on a GeForce Now Ultimate is, I don't know, the price, it seemed high at the time to me. Now it's gone up, or is going up. I just think, does it offer enough value? I don't know. I don't have a solid view on it. I just think it's right on the edge. Like when you cross, say, $20 on a subscription, $20 something, $21, $22 or something. Like once you get that end of things, I think you sort of cross a line a bit, a psychological line in your head, I think. I don't know. Hey, look at that. My Psy-EK, no problem. I'm glad it worked for you. I'm very happy. You and over 200,000 people have watched that video, and even today, well, you've just said hello in the chat, so hello. But even today, I had a query from someone asking some questions about a video that I did 2.5, 3 years ago, and still is my best daily viewed, roughly is my top 3 daily viewed videos. Even today, it's still serving a purpose, which actually ironic, oddly enough, since I was talking about subscription, it shows how you can share a subscription within your household, like a no, not like Netflix sharing. This is, I guess it is, yeah, because 2 people can use Xbox Ultimate or Xbox anything Game Pass with just one account and play different games or play the same game. So yeah, I'm glad it served a purpose for you, Si. Thank you very much for popping in and saying hello. Cloudbuster's been playing Call of Duty. Very good. Dropped into Dragon Ishin a bit. I need to go for that because I do like those games. They're so involving, though. I need to go back to it. Definitely. Has anybody played then Super Mario Wonder? I know I've seen a lot of people really enjoying it. The Super Mario Brothers games just always look so polished. I saw one with music as well. I think, oh God, what's the name was playing it, and it looked really fun. I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't have a Switch. sue me. I've made my choice. Or my son wants a Oculus Quest 3 or whatever. I'm like, going to give it a bit of time to see how that sort of pans out in terms of its uptake and stuff like that. I pay Luna $5.99 a month. Hey, Lo-Fi Monk, good to see you. Hello. I read that headline. I thought, our sour grapes is 2024. Prices will rise. Politicians will philander. If you come in at 20, it'll feel like value. It's only the old that feel the pain. Yeah. I think so. Maybe that's one way to look at it, Internet of Games. I think it still is. I guess to a certain degree, having played on a 4090, it does. And I was never, I'm not a PC master race or anything like that, but it is a great experience. And then, playing on GeForce Now Ultimate is mind blowing. It is really, really good. And it is a great way to experience, game playing Forza Motorsport. Really, really cool, really responsive. It looks great. So it is a great way to play games. And I guess the accusation they don't have the games, that's dying. It's got to be now with the Xbox deal. And the Xbox, because, every week we're getting 20, loads of games from Xbox. So come this time, added to GeForce Now. So come, not this time next year, but say come spring next year, most of that Xbox PC catalog, I imagine, will be available via GeForce Now Ultimate. You're going to start seeing the Activision Blizzard titles roll out next year as well to Xbox and thus to GeForce Now. So actually, in that context, from where GeForce Now was to where they will be in next year will be massive in terms of the games and the level of games. Obviously, they've always had they've always had 1,500 games, but people go, yeah, but it's all shovelware. There's not enough games that interest me. I want, the big Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. Well, we're going to get Call of Duty. We might not have it now, but we're going to get it. So we're already getting things like Forza Motorsport. You're getting the big games. Sure, there are still some big titles missing from EA and, Rockstar and Take-Two. But generally, Activision are on board. Ubisoft. Well, Activision are on board. Ubisoft are on board. Activision Blizzard will be on board via Xbox. So that's all the Xbox PC titles. So that's a big gain that GeForce Now Ultimate has achieved. For whatever reason, whether it's just merely Xbox didn't have, Microsoft didn't have a choice about it. But hey, the consumers benefit. We don't care why Microsoft did it. The consumers benefit. So from that regard, I think that, yeah, the £20, it does become more valuable because then you get to play a wider choice of games, which includes a good selection of big games, which was always the complaint about GeForce Now. Yes, there's 1,500 games, but not the games I want to play. But now I think the addition of Xbox titles and the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, those titles coming to GeForce Now Ultimate as well, I think it's going to be good next year. So maybe, yeah, just raise the price now. And as you say, anybody coming in next year will probably be pretty impressed with the deal. That's just my perspective. Talking of consoles, sort of. Analog 3D. So Analog are a company that makes sort of retro gaming consoles. Retro gaming console maker Analog, the manufacturer behind the Game Boy-like Analog Pocket. Yeah, so they made this. It's like a Game Boy Advance. Yeah. Well, they've also done versions of Mega Sega, Super Nintendo, Analog Duo. Well, they're taking on the Nintendo 64. I was a massive fan of the Nintendo 64. A new FPGA-powered console called Analog 3D, because that was the whole thing about N64, wasn't it? It was taking Mario into a 3D world. It's coming in 2024. It will play Nintendo 64 games at 4K resolution. How does this work? They surely don't have the proprietary rights to play the cartridges. So, yeah. But it says here, Analog calls its reimagining of the N64 the first and only aftermarket solution supporting 100% compatibility in every region, meaning it plans to support games from the US, Europe and Japan with its new retro console. That support is at hardware level. Analog promises there's no emulation involved. This is what I don't quite understand. No emulation involved in how the Analog 3D plays N64 games. While 4K resolution on modern monitors may be the draw for retro gaming enthusiasts with a passion for pixel counts, Analog is also promising era authentic display options so you can play on your CRT or your professional video monitor. It will support Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, feature 4 original style controller ports, so your existing N64 controllers should work. I think my partner threw them away. Casa. No, I had a GameCube one that you could use to play N64 games. That was it. Analog's announcement also teases new N64 compatible wireless controllers from 8-Bit Do. Here's a sneak peek. So you can't really see, they're being really sneaky. But this is the controller. AB. And as for the Analog 3D console itself, Analog has only shown a small glimpse of its new hardware. But if you look at the curvature, I'm going to open it in a new tab, see if you can see it. Right. Yeah, sort of a silhouette. But if you look at the curvature, you can quite see it. It has got a little echo, a little homage to the N64 sort of curve there by the looks of things. It's just a teaser. But anyway, yes, they're making a retro N64. There we go. I watched someone play the new... Jack... Jack was playing it, been playing it. I know Jack DeSlips has been playing it as well. A few issues with Quest 3. I'm holding off for now. This is what I'm thinking, Cloudbusters. It's a lot of money. I don't know who my son thinks he is. He just gave me his birthday and Christmas list already. And, like, I haven't even got some... He wants some things that I haven't even got. Like, I think I must have spoiled him and his sister over the years, because now he just asks for these big ticket items. I'm thinking, I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't want to just go out and get it and then it turns out it dies a death a bit. I read a review that, it was great, but the metaverse was basically empty. Internet Games says Xbox will facilitate EA. I hope so. NVIDIA DLS will facilitate industry-leading state-of-the-art PC games. Yeah. I think even if EA go, well, okay, we'll just offer a subscription package for GeForce Now. That's a start, isn't it? Yeah, just show any non-believer Cyberpunk on GFN Ultimate and watch their face drop. Absolutely. Ubisoft have all the rights for all the cloud Activision Blizzard games. Microsoft have paid for them to go to Game Pass. Yeah, no, you're correct. Outside Europe, but they're still coming. That's just a piece of paper, Caseball, really, and an exchange of money. Yeah, but they're not going to not acquire their own games for Game Pass. So that's a given. But it just also means that other people can have those games in different forms, whether in subscription form or buy to own form, or whatever. So we will see them on GeForce Now. I have no doubt about that. Because not only that, because Ubisoft will have the rights themselves. They won't even have the license because they'll be in Ubisoft Connect, Ubisoft Plus library. So that's available on GeForce Now. So yeah, I have no doubt that the games will be appearing on GeForce Now in whatever form, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I said it would be a brief one today because I can feel my voice going, and it always sets me back a day or so if I do this with a cold. So I'm going to get some sleep so that I'm ready for next week and all of that. As I said, watch out. Wednesday, I have a review of 3 different laptops for the 3 different prices, gaming budgets. Check that out. I appreciate your support on that if you do. Otherwise, of course, we'll have the GeForce Now Thursday news on Thursday. Check out for that video. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Massive thank you for joining me live. I really, really appreciate it. So on that basis, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you. Roll the outro.
Thanks for watching the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden. Don't forget to hit the likes, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Hit the join button today.